What's up, everybody? My name is Sean, and this is Matt, the Monkey Flip Mini Marshmallow Man.
God.
You got him.
God.
All right, so what we're going to do now is talk about, in the wake of Hell in a Cell, we're going to talk about our favorite Hell in a Cell matches. Yep. Not necessarily at Hell in a Cell, but just like Hell in a Cell matches.
We're going to talk about the actual match, the gimmick,
because
not
the
card.
All at Hell in a Cell, if that's what you think.
And let's just cover base with something right now. One issue I have with wrestling: you shouldn't expect gimmick matches just because it's the name of the pay-per-view. Change it up, make it unpredictable.
That's bullshit.
With that said, though, let's talk about our 5 favorite Hell in a Cell matches. Let's go deep down in hell and explore what's on our mind. He's got 4
because I don't conform, so I only picked 4. Number 1,
Dr. Seuss over here.
The first ever Hell in a Cell match. 1998 King of the Ring. Mick Foley versus The Undertaker. This match.
Did you just say the first ever Hell in a Cell match?
Yeah.
That would be Shawn Michaels and The Undertaker. Oh, you didn't know? You dumbass. Bad Blood October 1997. That's the first ever Hell in a Cell match. That is the first one on my list. Well, maybe not the first, but it's the first one I'm going to speak of because I have to correct Shawn, the heel over here. The villain, whatever. Debut of Kane, great match. Shawn Michaels got his ass handed to him in that match. And just when you think The Undertaker is going to finally finish him off, boom, the lights go out and we finally get the debut of Kane, who tombstones his brother right down on his head. And that's it. Shawn Michaels, roll over, cover, 1, 2, 3. Now let's get back on track with Shawn's first pick.
To the best ever Hell in a Cell match. No debate there.
Nope.
Okay. Mick Foley and The Undertaker. Okay, my bad. I thought it was the first one. 98. What was yours?
97.
97. 1 year off. Suck it.
Trebek.
Anyways, big spots in this match. Mick Foley thrown from the top of the cage. Or jumps. I can't remember.
Oh, he was thrown. He was thrown.
Through the announce table. Concussion. Probably broken
his tooth right up his nose.
Tooth up his nose. Was that after he got thrown through, though?
I thought that was the first one. Either way, he got his tooth right up his nose.
He gets thrown through the table, the announce table, off the top of a cell, which is up there. I know you've seen a Hell in a Cell match.
And let's just say right now,
can you do the Jim Ross?
As God is my witness, he is broken in half.
My God, he is dead. Yeah, so, all right. Then he gets stretchered out, and then I believe he comes back.
He gets right back on top of the cell.
He gets back, goes up to the top of the cell, and then he gets thrown through the cell.
Which was not planned. That angle was not planned.
They started, I think, making the cages break away after that. But I don't think it was supposed to break away.
Not that one, no. That was not supposed to happen.
Lands on his head. Instantly concussed, probably I think broken bones. He sustained a shit ton of injuries in that match. And then finally the end, I think he took one last bump into like a bunch of tacks.
He took 2.
2 bumps into tacks. 2. I think he had tacks in his face, you could see him.
He had the mandible claw on the Undertaker, and the Undertaker threw him back and then choke slammed him on the tacks as well.
And then that was the end of the match. But what an amazing match.
The Undertaker did that also with a broken foot. Let's not take away credit from the Undertaker.
I'm not saying anything bad about the Undertaker in this match, but like Mick Foley's a nutty bastard.
Mick Foley took the most punishment in that match, but even right before that, just to go out there with your broken foot, climbing up the cell 2 different times, and he actually jumped from the cell down into the ring with a broken foot. And you can tell. You go back and watch that spot and look at the way he lands.
If you haven't seen it, because I don't know if a lot of you are younger or older WWE fans, but it was a while ago. So, go back and watch it if you haven't seen it. If you're a newer WWE fan, I suggest it.
And if you got the network, King of the Ring 1998.
Definitely one of those matches that probably changed the course of wrestling. If you were going to do a top 5 best matches, I believe that is in the top 5.
All right. Oh, let's see. I'm going to go with more current. a few years ago. I'm going to go with Seth Rollins and Dean Ambrose. Now, this was, I thought, a great rivalry at the time. This is actually the first, well, I shouldn't say the first heel run, but the first solo heel run of Seth Rollins after he betrayed his brothers and destroyed the Shield. They had a great match a couple months prior at SummerSlam, which I never thought a lumberjack match could actually be that great, but those two proved me wrong.
Yeah, lumberjack matches are lame.
Hell in a Cell match, it was not the longest. It was short and sweet. They fought up on the top of the cell with J&J Security. They both had that spot where they bash each other's heads right off of the cell and crash through two different announce tables. And then the ending, of course, I loved because I'm a huge Bray Wyatt fan. The return of Bray Wyatt. Lights go out right as he was about to hit a curb stomp on Seth Rollins. And the lantern that projected a holographic image. And Bray Wyatt came out and interfered, and Seth Rollins got the victory. I won't say anything more about it, short and sweet, but it was a great match as far as current Hell in a Cell matches who don't do as many high spots.
Yeah, so if you haven't seen it, go back and watch it. Well, all these matches that we're talking about, I guarantee you will love them if you go back and watch them. Some people watch wrestling for different reasons. Some people watch them because of great matches. Some people watch them because of the drama. I freely admit that I love both. Without the drama, I probably wouldn't be interested in it. But, again, there's some misses on the drama part of it. But, next match, Undertaker and Triple H, WrestleMania 28, guest referee HBK. It was billed as the end of an era match. This actually made Undertaker 20-0 at WrestleMania. Because he won. And I think it took a lot because I think he got tombstone, hit with a sledgehammer, hit with a chair, super kicked. He still came back, hit Triple H with a tombstone. I think hit him with the chair.
Oh, those two traded chair shots
and
all
then,
match long.
You could see the anguish on Shawn Michaels' face as he had to count Triple H for the 1, 2, 3. They ended up embracing at the top of the ramp after they all held each other out of the ring. It was a great moment in WrestleMania history as well as wrestling history. Still, it was a great match on top of all that, back and forth. And, it was one of those matches like when you're sitting there watching it,
you just witness something great.
You're witnessing history being made, especially in the wrestling world. Like, you could talk about a bunch of matches like I did with the previous one with Mankind and Undertaker, and honestly, you'll see a pretty heavy Undertaker choices on this list because he's involved in probably 90% of the greatest Hell in a Cell matches.
I'd say Triple H and Undertaker are the two. The godfathers of Hell in a Cell.
Yeah,
it was only fitting that those two met inside Hell in a Cell with Shawn Michaels, who was also in the first ever match, not Mankind. So it was, it was a great moment, and I think the moment was, as great as the match itself. Shawn Michaels helps Undertaker to his feet. They both help out Triple H to his feet, and like you said before, them embracing and the audience showing their appreciation.
It's off by 1 year. All right. Next match.
Let's see. I mean, that was on my list too. So I mean, I think you and I, agreed on
then just go
two of them. I'm gonna go with Batista and Triple H. I think this was Vengeance 2005. This was the third straight pay-per-view match these two did when Batista was first, when he had his first world title run, and at this point, Triple H, I think, was the favorite because he was defeated twice and he had never lost a Hell in a Cell match. And that was actually the first time I remember seeing a steel chair wrapped with barbed wire introduced in a match. And those two went to hell. Those two, honestly, it wasn't for me. It wasn't about high risk spots, nobody getting thrown through the cell, off the cell. It was just straight up hardcore wrestling inside Hell in a Cell, weapons being introduced, steel chains, steel chairs, barbed wire, and there was a spot right at the very end, for those who have not seen it, spoiler alert, Triple H was about to he had the sledgehammer in his hand when Batista lifted him up for a Batista bomb. You think he's going to crack him right over the skull like he's done to people before in the past. He did it to The Undertaker, and Batista said nope and dropped him right at the last second. But that was a great ending to that trilogy. So that's why that was on my list.
All right, last one for me, because I only wrote down 4 because I don't conform. And this is J&J Security, in case you didn't know. I grabbed them when we were talking about them.
And he's treating them like salt and pepper shakers.
So, last match, Bad Blood 2004, Triple H versus Shawn Michaels. Like, this was towards the end of their feud.
Yes, yeah.
After that great match, was it, I can't remember, it was a street fight?
SummerSlam 2002.
It was a street fight, right?
Yes, it was a non-sanctioned street fight.
Yes, that was amazing.
Which non-sanctioned?
Non-sanctioned means it's sanctioned, but they want to make it sound badass. But anyways, match started with Triple H getting bloodied, and then shortly after, I think Shawn Michaels got bloodied, but great spots in the match all the way throughout. So he grabs a ladder out from underneath the ring, sets it up. He elbow drops Triple H off the top of the ladder. Like, this guy did some crazy shit. And with his back the way it was, he shouldn't have been doing stuff like that. He probably shouldn't have been wrestling again. I'm glad he came back last year, too. Which, you know, it is what it is. It's one of those things like, should he come back? Will it tarnish his legacy? No, it didn't. Because he's the GOAT. You can't argue with me on that.
I think a lot of people could argue with that.
But anyways, he got pedigreed twice to lose. I think Triple H won. But Shawn Michaels got a standing ovation at the end. A lot of people really like this match. It's not one of those matches for me that if you haven't seen it, you better go watch it because it's, I mean, just like every match on this list, 4 to 5 star matches.
It was the longest Hell in a Cell match in history too.
40.
It was over 45 minutes.
48 minutes, I think it was. So yeah, it was a pretty long match, but I mean, worth it. Worth watching.
Think that does it. Think that covers it. That's our 9 choices altogether of what we thought was the best of.
I don't want to overload it. I don't want to overload it. I want you guys to come up with your own. You know, come up with your own and put them in the comments down below. Do you agree with us? Do you not agree with us? Are you mad at me because I didn't know that Shawn Michaels and Triple H was the first Hell in a Cell match? If you are, let me know, and then I'll comment that I don't care.
Shawn's just bitter.
Maybe. But whatever. Anyways, like and subscribe. Please keep sharing. Don't forget to check out that video for the 50 subscriber giveaway. Make sure you follow the directions in that video.
Yes.
You gotta watch the whole video or else you're not going to know what to do. And then nobody's going to win this amazing box.
The box.
The box. WWE goodies. Right here. It's full.
Could it be a Tori Wilson Playboy?
I can guarantee you that there's no Playboys in here. So if you want to get it for your kid, that's okay. Because it's not. There's no naked pictures in here. I wouldn't let you guys have those. I would keep them for myself. Just kidding, babe. Alright, so like, subscribe, share. Thank you very much. And let us know what you think.